All right, we're going to talk more about circles. Here we have a circle with a radius r. And the radius intercepts the circle at point x, y. Well, x this way and then y up on the coordinate plane here creates a right triangle. So we know by the Pythagorean theorem that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So in this instance, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And that's for any circle, any radius, any point on the circle. So we come down here to our second circle, and we can see that the center of the circle is on the origin, and our radius is 3. So that doesn't change anything. X squared plus y squared equals 3 squared, or x squared plus y squared equals 9, which is the equation of our circle. But suppose that here we have a circle and it's not on the origin. It's not on the origin. Well, now we have to find the distance between where x and y is and the center of the circle. So we're going to call the center of the circle HK. And we're still going to call where the radius touches the circle XY. Because what we're going to find is that the radius of the circle is h distance on the x, and it is k distance on the y. So to determine what the radius is, we have to adjust xy by h and k, and then we can measure it as if it was on the origin. So our equation of the circle will look like this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared is going to equal r squared, which makes perfect sense if you think about it, because when it's on the origin, x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals r squared, or x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So all we're doing is we're reversing this and this to get the circle on the origin like so. So this right here is going to be the equation for all circles. X squared minus h, it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And that's going to be true for all circles, no matter where they sit on the coordinate plane. So let's take let's look at an example. So if we have a circle, and the center of this circle is 0, minus 9, and the radius is 4.2. So with this information, we can write the equation of the circle, because we know that x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Well, here if we have the center, and the center is hk, x minus h will be x minus 0 squared plus y minus k, so it's y minus a minus 9 squared equals r squared, and in this case the radius equals 4.2 squared. So let's reduce this down a bit. So x squared, x minus 0 squared is x squared, y plus 9, y minus minus 9 squared, y plus 9 squared equals 17.64, which is 4.2 squared. And that is the end of that example. So here we simply took our h and our k and our radius, and we plugged them into the formula. H squared x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we simply plugged it in and got our answer. So let's look at another one. So if we have center minus 2, 5, and a radius of 7, and our formula for a circle is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. So x minus a minus 2 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 7 squared. So x plus 2 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 49 is our answer. But what if we were simply told a point on the circle is negative 5/6, the center of the circle is negative 1/3. Well, now we don't have a radius. We have our h and k, but we don't have a radius. But fortunately for us, we know that the radius is the distance from a point, any point on the circle, to the center of the circle. So we can use our handy dandy distance formula to find r. And the distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And we, of course, can just plug in the information we have. And it doesn't matter which point is 1, point 1 or point 2, just as long as we use both coordinates in the same point for 1 and the same coordinates in the same point for 2. So let's say minus 5 minus 1 squared plus 6, 5 and 6, I'm using the same point, minus 3 squared equals r. So r equals the square root of a negative 5 minus a minus 1 is the same as negative 5 plus 1, or 4 squared, plus 6 minus 3 is 3 squared, and you can probably see where this is going. R equals radical 16 plus 9. R equals radical 25, or R equals 5. So let's go back to green, come back up here. We know that R equals 5, and we have our center point, so let's write our equation for the circle. And it's going to be x minus a minus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals r squared, or 5 squared. So x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 25 is the equation for our circle. And next we'll look at graphing these circles in the next video.